Hi. I liked how I made the last video, so I'm making another one. Unfortunately, I don't have an intro, so this is gonna be the intro. Coworker music is a sort of genre to music where most songs that fit into the category are considered safe songs that when in a coworker environment, you would probably hear them. This is a term that, as of at least I think recently, has been popping up a lot to a lot of different people. Now, whether coworker music is bad or not, that kind of got settled as soon as it was made. Most people agreed, you know, this is popular, this is boring, this is bland. But I beg to differ. Maybe. In today's adventure, I have decided to listen to coworker music and to explore this genre a bit in a sort of goal to find the big answer to it all. Is coworker music actually bad? The artists that I've chosen for this task are these 5 different artists: Imagine Dragons, Taylor Swift, Ed Sheeran, Drake, and Maroon 5. Now, if you're generally keen on knowing what is coworker music, you would probably have listened to all of these artists and known, yeah, this is coworker music. But because I have, you know, a spreadsheet of a bunch of albums that I've listened to, I decided, you know what, let's bump up that number from 260 to 265. And I've listened to 5 of their albums rather than just like generally their music. I understand now in hindsight that that might not be the best idea, but I think that more so gives me a better clue for how these artists work, both for their coworker music and for their other stuff. Now, if you know YouTube, you would know pretty well that every one of these artists is copyrighted. What I'm saying is, I'm gonna have to censor all of the music being played, which is, you know, the whole concept of past Africs. But whatever, man, we're good, we're fine. Speaking of past Africs, I should introduce you to the formula of this video. How this is gonna work is past Africs is gonna roll. Past Africs is me from the past, which is like a week ago, who listened to all of these albums. After he rolls, I, future Africs, introduce the albums to you guys, after which past Africs will react to the albums, and then I, future Africs, will give a conclusion to the albums. And then future Africs edits this, and future Africs can't talk because fuck you. And that's basically all I have to say. Let's send it to the first album.
Yo, we got on the wheel today. Some boring shit. We got hella boring shit. Oh my god, I am not excited to spin this wheel. Let's just jump right into it. Even my wheel don't know, bro. My wheel was trying to go in the center. Imagine Dragons.
And starting it off with Imagine Dragons. Now, I'm happy that this album was the first one that got rolled because Imagine Dragons is basically the face of this genre. So I'm really happy that I got this first because this is basically the introduction to everything. So it's very nice to have it first, you know, as an actual introduction. Now, for Imagine Dragons, I have decided to pick Night Visions, I think it was, purely just because I went to Rate Your Music, a rating, like album rating platform, whatever, and this was literally their highest rated album. Now, I know Future Me is gonna put the ratings here, and you're gonna see 2.28. Don't worry, it's not out of 10, it's out of 5. That's still bad, not that bad though. But it could be worse, it could be 2.17 or a 1 point something, which is the rest of their albums. So, hey, we got something. I'll let Past Me take it from here.
Super Deluxe 54. 14 tracks. 55 minutes. Let's get it. Oh god, we're starting off with Radioactive. No! No! This song is so deeply cemented into my brain. I feel like it's deeply cemented in everyone's brain. I'm in H&M right now. I do have to give them praise. This isn't bad, even considering how many times I've listened to this song. This is still solid, you know? Or at least not bad, or not horrible. It's music, you know? Only thing I'm potentially scared of in this album is everything's gonna sound the same. I'm sure of the fact that there's some songs here that I've never heard of before that will probably be like, wow, this sounds like Radioactive. What the fuck is this? I was expecting to be like bored as fuck, to be like, wow, wow, look at that, it's music. It's not bad. It might be bad after 50 minutes of it, but for now it's good. This is like ordering like mild sauce, bro. The white people just can't handle it. Okay, now I'm bored. Now I'm officially bored. And I'm scared now because it's been 2.5 songs. Oh my god, I just yawned. This isn't a listening experience, this is a challenge. What is this? What does that lyric mean? What the fuck does this mean? What is this trio? If you love somebody better, hold up, shut up. Better tell them while they're here because they may just run away from you. Oh, because you're radioactive, right? Remember the first song? Interconnected. I'm sure of the fact that someone that has no idea what music theory is, or anything, literally listen to just the top 100 most famous songs, like ever, they can listen to this and predict the fucking melody. It's that obvious, like it's genuinely. Oh, wait, hold up now. Wait, hold up now. Wait! What? This guitar's awesome. Wait, this is so cool. Okay, never mind. Had the ball, dropped it on the floor, give it to the other team, and then kissed them in the face. Here, all yours, buddy. I love you. Come on! I think I've genuinely yawned 4 times. My ears are I'm trying to grip on anything interesting in this fucking song, in these songs. Is it really just the first like 4 songs of this album that are actually like famous? Are we in uncharted territory for the white people? That doesn't even rhyme. That doesn't rhyme. This doesn't rhyme. Come on, man. Yeah, none of this rhymes. Back again. Pretend. That's the only thing. None of this rhymes. Me, Mind, Breathe too. Like me and Breathe. That's it. I thought like some of these tracks were not famous because like they were just unrecognized because of some of the other songs here. This is just not good. Like, genuinely. I would probably call this mid, but I genuinely don't think it deserves a mid. It's crazy. I think their problem with Imagine Dragons, they either do basic shit and it works, or they try and break out of basic shit and it's ass. I'm about to sleep. Bro, these fucking 3 dots are gonna hypnotize me to go to bed. These are the type of people to like play Shoots and Ladders. Like genuinely. Tonino should collab with Imagine Dragons. That would be a great collab, honestly. I just need Tonino to make the entire songs and just have Imagine Dragons sing the lyrics. This is so funny. I've never laughed at a song for genuinely being just ass. There's nothing here. There is no meat here. This feels like a fucking veggie burger. And that's an insult to veggie burgers. Compared to the last 3, or like 4, I really lost track. This one is solid, okay? I have to use the word. Because it isn't bad. My bar has been lowered a very reasonable amount. So now listening to something like this is honestly, it's something, you know? Here's the thing, I think they felt like, oh, we need to do something interesting here. Let's put 2 songs in one. But they didn't have an idea of to how merge them. So they just faded out one and started the next one. And that's it. Good job, gang. Way to go, guys! Cha-ching. This is not gonna be... wow. What an album, man.
Yeah, we're off to a rough start with this one. This entire album was extremely basic and extremely boring and just had nothing to it, like genuinely. Outside of the 4 hits that are in this album, there is genuinely nothing to see of interest here. You know you fucked up when the best song in an album is fucking radioactive. It's not like the other songs here are even that noteworthy outside of the 4 hits that are here. These other songs are genuinely some of the worst music I've heard in a while, because this ended up being in my 2nd lowest rating in the entire spreadsheet. And it's even to the point where I went ahead and re-listened to Veteran, which was my lowest at the time, because I genuinely could not believe that there is something lower than this album. Later, I did re-rate Veteran, making this the lowest thing in my spreadsheet, which, congratulations, Imagine Dragons, I guess. But yeah, let's just see what the next album is.
We back. Oh damn, it's 6 foot. That'd be 6 foot. Okay. See what we roll. See what we roll. Maroon 5.
Maroon 5. Now, Maroon 5 is also an artist that comes up pretty often in these conversations about Coworker music, and I honestly don't blame people for mentioning them because they're an artist with music that is pretty popular. For the album, I chose Songs About Jane, mostly because I honestly wanted to listen to Maroon 5 for a while now anyways, and looking at Rare Music, this seems like the best chance that they have, and by a pretty long shot as well. So, you know, listening to an album that I might actually genuinely like. Let's see what Past Afrix has to say about that.
12 songs, 46 minutes. Pretty good length. Okay, let's go. Yes! This is great. Oh, this is fucking good. I don't want to do apples to oranges or whatever the fuck it's called. This is it has so much more depth to it than fucking Imagine Dragons. Oh, and this fucking song? Oh, this is gonna be a good album. Yes! This is gonna be a good fucking album. Fuck, this is gonna be great. This is gonna be so fun. It's actually unbelievable how much more fun this album is after having then listened to that previous album. Listening to this a bit more, this is definitely very generic music. It's not necessarily bad, but it does make for a sort of repetitive feel. Really matters if that repetitive feel is within every individual song or in the whole thing. And as of right now, it's only in every individual song, which is much better. This is so nice. This is so swag. I don't know why it is. It has such a reasonably large amount of swag in it. One thing so far that I do love about every song so far, it has been consistent, which is incredibly surprising. Every song here has been pretty much the same quality, I would say, as the last one, which is extremely surprising considering that there's only like 2 songs that actually like became popular out of this album. Oop, the double weights are back. Let's go. I don't know if that's or if there's another song. Oh yeah, no, that's the last song. That is a great outro. Holy shit, nice. Yeah, that's an album. That's how you make music.
Now this is an album, you see. This, compared to the previous album, is an absolute landslide of a victory. This is literally a case of Coughing Baby versus Hydrogen Bomb, because this album is miles ahead of Imagine Dragons. As much as this album also has its hits, whether it be This Love or some other song I forgot, this album also has a bunch of other good music that is genuinely just fun to listen to. There are so many tracks here that were just fun, especially the first one, because that track was just extremely swag and cool and fun. And overall, this entire album was very, very fun and a big refresher after a previous album. This is overall an extremely solid listen that is just very fun to listen to, and I gave this about a 79 out of 100. And now I am officially hype and back on track. Let's see what the next album has to offer.
Okay. Okay.
Taylor Swift, to a lot of people, is the type of artist of like about as prime of an example to Coworker music as Imagine Dragons. Now, for this album specifically, I kind of chose it just randomly-ish, just because I felt like I've heard quite a bit about 1989, so I decided, let's give it a shot, see how it is. And we'll see what Past Afrix has to say about this one.
13 songs, 48 minutes. Let's go. This sounds exactly what I expected. I'm waiting for like the random song that I just happen to know. It might not be here though. Oh no. Oh, never mind. I looked at the sound. I looked at the track list. I love what she does with her voice, honestly. The vocals here are actually really cool. Fuck is happening? Peak lyricism. Well, this space of repetition, you could put more interesting stuff here, and it's kind of a wasted potential. This is kind of a nothing burger. It isn't bad, it's just meh, you know? Yeah, okay. Here's my problem again. You just repeat the same sentence. You can do something here. Maybe shut up for a bit. I don't know. Just some ideas. God, there's really so little to say about this. Like, every song in particular, there's not much to say about it. This is the second song so far that's named This Love. There's a lot of nothing burger. This might just skip to the end from here on. But that's the album.
Honestly, overall, this album was not horrible. At least not as horrible as Imagine Dragons. I know that I've been comparing a lot of these to Imagine Dragons, but there's no other like lowball thing I can compare it to. So for now, it's just gonna be Imagine Dragons. But this album is not bad. It's not really good either, but it's an album, I guess. Now, while this definitely has its hits, with a lot of songs like I think Shake It Off was on this and other stuff, there are still other tracks here that weren't particularly hits back in the day, but they were still songs that weren't horrible. And I think that is a bare minimum for artists, especially for artists as popular as Taylor Swift and for people as popular as this genre in general. But the thing is, one problem about this album, it is incredibly bland. There is not much you can say about this album other than everything I just mentioned, and it causes this for such a problem of just like, yeah, it's music, just like for 40 minutes. This album was incredibly basic and kind of boring, but at least it wasn't horrible. I gave this about a 60 out of 100. And let's see what the next album has to offer.
It's tomorrow. Anyways, Ed Sheeran.
Ed Sheeran. You know, little British boy that people like for some reason. I really don't understand why people liked him that much, but I guess people did. And, you know, it's fair to say, because he has extremely safe music, probably the safest music out of everything so far. But overall, you know, he's an artist that makes music. Is it good? We're about to find out. Now, I chose Divide mostly because it's his, like, most well-known album. I mean, pretty much everyone, for some reason, knows this album. Like, album covers, this is probably one of the first ones to pull up, which is a bit unfortunate considering how slightly boring it is. Other than that, that's like basically it. It's just like, let past me take it from here.
46 minutes, 12 songs. See what this is, man. God, I forgot Ed Sheeran's British. Here's the thing. This sounds good. This is pretty cool, actually. It's just, it feels very nothing burger. And I don't know how that does that. It's like genuine. It is kind of surprising to me how something can sound both this good and also kind of boring. I don't know. Can't wait for Shape of You to pull up. So far, every album had a very similar experience of some songs I've never heard of and some songs I've heard of. I mean, astonishing, but like, you know. This feels very similar to me, like the listening experience of 1989, where I feel like there's really nothing I can say because it's not bad, it's just not particularly interesting as well. It genuinely is like the most ground level music I can think of, which honestly makes it very fitting for the concept of fucking Coworker music. Here you want some music? Here, have music. It's not bad, it's just not good. I think back when I didn't have a music taste, I liked this song. This guy talks about girls so much, bro. I'm assuming we're gonna go back to songs I've never heard of before. Do not believe how correct I was. She cheated on him. Wait, this has lore. Ish. I don't fucking know. I sort of fucking repeated the chorus like 4 times. It cannot be that deep, my boy. You said the F word. Or you tried to, but Ops got him, or whatever the fuck. Here's the thing, the storyline of this is extremely easy to follow. Which just means it's like actually slightly interesting. Which, kudos, actually. Good job, Tim. I think he just grabbed a bunch of fancy words and just into a song. Oh yes, portfolio. Oh yes, what does this mean? Like, bro. This is so mom music, holy shit. That's an album.
I'm pretty sure after I finished listening to this album, my immediate thought was, wow, this has absolutely nothing to it. This album is an extremely bland experience, whether you're listening to the vocals, or the lyrics, or the instrumentals. Basically anything in this album has nothing to it, I would say. This album in general is just kind of a nothing burger, and unfortunately, like, again, it's like Taylor Swift, where there is nothing for 40 minutes. Like, this album doesn't give you much to work with, and when it does give you stuff to work with, unfortunately it's not much. I'm not even kidding when I think like that's genuinely all I have to say about this album, because there is nothing in this album. I gave this 59 out of 100. Let's pop into the last album.
Okay, last album. Well, let's preemptively open up the fucking album.
Drake is probably the least Coworker music there is in this entire thing. I'm pretty sure that a good chunk of people won't even consider Drake Coworker music purely for the fact that it's hip-hop rap. But I decided, you know, we need to have something to spice it up. We don't want all pop, so I put some hip-hop rap here, and what better than little Canadian Drake. Now, I picked this album mostly because this was probably Drake's best like chance at having something that wouldn't be as boring as anything else. I have already listened to a few other Drake albums, but this is like the Drake album where people are saying like, yeah, you need to listen to this one if you want good Drake. One thing that was hard for me when looking for albums to listen to, especially in Drake's case, so many albums from Drake are like an hour and above, and the thing is, hour-long albums kind of really scare me. So when I was like looking through the albums and just thinking to myself, hour and a half? For what? That felt like somewhat justified for me, but you know, it's whatever. Let's just let Past Me take it from here.
Hour 26, 20 songs, let's go. So far, this one is actually interesting. This one actually has something. I think the reason for that might be because this is Take Care, and this album is his magnum opus, which I'm pretty sure just means it's the most interesting thing he's dropped, so you know. Never mind, this isn't that interesting. Oh, this song is actually really fun. This one's actually fun. Ooh, damn. This one's actually like a really fun listen. Or at least this song. The Weeknd! Yes, The Weeknd! The Weeknd, I love you! This guy's so fucking fruity, I swear to God. This is pretty chill. It's pretty chill, calm, like cool music, you know? It's not bad. I keep saying it's not bad, but this time it's actually like, it's not even mid. It's like subpar, you know? I think this is probably the furthest thing from what I count as Coworker music. With that, it is still quite Coworker-y. This album is probably the most consistent out of the bunch. I was expecting this to be boring mostly because it's an hour and a half, but it's one of the best ones so far. There's really not much to say on this album other than what I already said. Okay. Solid end. Solid, you know what? Solid ass end.
This album felt very similar to all of the other albums, and also nothing like the other albums. I think it's mostly due to the lyricism here, because, I mean, Drake's ghostwriters were pretty good if he had back then. But you know, this album wasn't horrible. I might be saying that due to my bias of how much hip-hop rap I listen to, and more especially how much generic hip-hop rap I've already listened to. This feels very similar to me to a lot of other albums that I've listened to. One thing that is extremely different in this album compared to all of the albums so far is that the hits in this album aren't that much different in quality compared to the rest of the album, which is something very nice to have for a change, because up until now you've had a section of the album where there's the songs that people know, and the other section of the album where there's songs that no one has heard of before. Most of the hits on this album are pretty randomly dispersed, and I'm pretty sure it's just because they're randomly selected songs that are pretty good. And that happens to a lot of other artists, where in their albums, the hits are just so happen to be in random spots, whether it be a random single that was released, or just one of the first songs on the album. And overall, seeing such a well-rounded album in this whole experience is very nice to see. And I'm just glad that for a change, somehow Drake is my savior. But you know, whatever. I gave this like a 73, 72, I don't remember, out of 100. Now, to answer the question in the title, is Coworker music really that bad? Probably. Here's the thing, the majority of these albums were pretty boring to me, with the exception of Take Care and Songs About Jane, and the only reason that these are the two good picks is probably artist or album pick. Songs About Jane is one of Maroon 5's first albums, so it's pretty fair that they started off pretty well. Same thing happens with Drake. I'm pretty sure if I listened to a different album of theirs, I would probably have a pretty similar reaction as I had with Taylor Swift or with Ed Sheeran. Overall, I'm not sure if I picked the best artists or the best albums for this genre, and I would do another round of a few more songs and albums, but considering how this experience was, I'm good. So instead, I made this chart. Now, if future me can move me to the side, please, that would be very nice, thank you. Now, if you look at this thing, you see that there is on the x-axis how Coworker music it is, and on the y-axis how good I rated it. And if you can see, there is this very obvious trend where the more Coworker music it is, the lower it is rated. And I genuinely don't think this is a coincidence, because to some extent this makes a lot of sense to me. As long as you have any music taste and like anything that isn't like the most basic possible answer, then you probably have any other album that you would like more than this. So overall, according to the chart, is Coworker music bad? Yeah, probably. I know it's a bit annoying to like come out of a video that I don't know how long is, just to come up with the same conclusion as you had originally, but now you have video proof, and also this certificate, which I will show on screen right now. This certificate proves, and me personally, legally and formally stand by you if you say Coworker music is bad, and this is your certificate. You're welcome. Yeah, that's basically it. Jesus, I'm cold. I'm cold. Let's see what fat... I was about to say fat Afrix. Like... Shit. I don't really give a fuck. Why am I saying that? I do give a fuck. Put that in the outtakes, I don't fucking know. I'm on my idle animation, my bad gang.